called?
I literally took
And
my laptop to the club one day because I was expecting that my boss was going to call me, right? And right there, I got that call and I just brought the laptop out, and
trust me,
my guys were like,
there's
what's all
so
this?"
much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the PalmTechnIQ podcast, where we talk about everything and anything about tech. My name is Semitope Bamidele, and I have with me here,
Ayobami Paul.
and
Neshi Simeka.
and today we actually have a fascinating topic, a topic that actually resonates with all of us, and this is the work-life balance in tech, in the tech industry. I mean, we are all into tech here, and I believe that we all have one or two things to get off our chests, like
Honestly.
about everything, about the work-life balance and everything. So I'm going to start with Paul. Why is work-life balance such a challenge in tech compared to other industries?
Okay, so I think that from my perspective, right,
Mm-hmm.
it's due to the fact that there are different ways in which an individual can choose to work in the tech industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because most of what you do is basically with your PC, right? And you can choose to do it from your house or be fully in the office, right? So you could do the hybrid instead, so if you want that, right? So I think the actual challenge comes from where or how you're actually doing this. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? So if you say, for instance, you want to work from home, it could in some way affect your productivity. You don't know where the line blends in between work and then your personal life, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
could literally just get a message from your employer and you just bust out your laptop and you start working wherever you're at. You get. So I think
True.
those things really affect a lot.
So, Emeka, I would like you to throw more light on this. Do you actually see it as a challenge? Do you think that there's any problem? Look, like
Yes,
listen to what Paul
yes,
said.
yes. Actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
right. There's so much expectations
Yeah.
in
Mm-hmm.
our tech industry, right? Um, Deadlines, right?
Right, right,
Coming up with innovative ideas, like
right.
meeting up with
Mm-hmm.
these designs and all of
Yeah.
that. So it causes burnout. That's just the fact.
Honestly,
Like
honestly.
you can just be somewhere literally, and you get a call, like you said, from your what's it called?
I literally took my
And
laptop to the club one day because I was expecting that my boss was going to call me, right? And right there, I got that call and I just brought the laptop out, and
trust me,
my guys were like,
there's
what's all this?"
so much um um you know lack of work balance in tech industry, because
Mm.
sometimes, like you said, I myself, I can be in the kitchen cooking and I have my laptop,
I mean,
so I literally have
we've
my
seen evidence of that before.
at some
Trust
point there
me.
was a
Right?
point where my niece had to, like, what's
We've
going
What's
definitely
on,
going
seen
on?
that.
Why is there a
right?
laptop in the
Do you
kitchen?
understand? So it's so much expectations and deadlines
I
to meet
mean,
up
would
to.
you expect them to? Would you rather have your workspace back, like, oh, go to come to the office, rather than actually have? But then, I sort of like the remote work. That it means that you're even working more hours
Mm.
remotely, and that is just the truth. Because me, as a cybersecurity specialist here, you always have to check if the organization's vulnerability is not at risk. You always have to check on their security. Any little threat like this is a problem. And the worst part is that everything will be going good, but the moment that something goes bad, it is all your fault.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
you're
Like,
expected
You're
to
expected to
be
be on
on
it,
it 24/7.
and
right?
that brings me to my next question. Do you feel like, as tech guys, like, do you feel like you're not appreciated enough?
Oh wow. Okay, so this question, right, is actually very very important because
Yeah.
especially when you're doing backend,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so let's just compare right now.
Mm-hmm.
So in software engineering, there's front end, there's back end, and other
Yeah.
fields, right? So
Mhm.
now when you're doing front end, which is the actual part that the client sees,
See.
Yes.
they get to say, okay, yeah, you did this, you did that. Okay, we could see that you've done this. We could see that you did that. When it comes to back end, you must have done a lot of stops and for the APIs to work, and
Mm-hmm.
the only way to access it is either from the front end calling it or the postman request or something like that.
Yeah.
True.
And these things are not actually obvious to the normal layman. And people will be like, so what have you been doing for the past
That's the
4 or 5 hours?
point.
So I called you
Because
6 hours ago concerning this thing, and you're still not done yet,
Seriously.
bro. What I'm doing, you cannot
and
You
see,
cannot see it.
you can, and the funny part
You
is
can't.
you've spent so much time, right?
right?
The
Yes.
time you spend writing your code and the time you spend debugging when you have a bug,
Exactly.
it's on a different
You
level.
see that
True.
debugging is another different.
It's another different topic to talk about,
Jesus.
right?
I was literally quoting one day. I think it was this spelling error, right? I omitted a P in one
Oh
of
my
my posts.
goodness! I think everybody has gone through. Even I, like, even I'm not I'm not a web developer or a mobile app developer, but even in cases of my cybersecurity work where I'm doing my programming, everybody has felt this.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like it's there. You know, even in networking. In networking as well, there are cases whereby you are trying to configure a router. If you miss one, you can just miss one space,
And that's it.
and it is not going to work, or you have to start all over again.
You just have to.
Like,
Especially when you're doing that networking, trying to fix RJ45 and all those stuffs.
it's crazy.
Honestly.
So, I would like to ask, what strategies or habits do you personally use to prevent this burnout while working in tech?
Okay.
I personally haven't gotten a hang of it. I'm not even gonna lie. So,
All right. So I'm always doing this off and on, right? With something called the Pomodoro technique, right?
Okay.
And the technique, I think it was introduced. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was introduced by the Japanese, where you'd concentrate work for a certain amount of time, and then you give yourself a break, right? And you repeatedly do that.
Yeah.
So you could say, okay, so I want to focus on work for 30 minutes, take a break of 10 minutes, and you can do that repeatedly for like 6-7 times.
Alright.
So I actually did that at some point, which actually worked for me, right? Because there was a time in my life that I said, okay, I wanted to be able to code for at least 10 hours in a day. When we were running, I and my colleagues, remember then when we had that, what's the name of that platform again?
Yeah,
That we check. No. That we were checking the duration of time spent coding. Right.
Waka time.
Waka time, yeah.
Waka
So we were
time.
literally monitoring ourselves. Let's know, okay, who's the person that codes the most? How many hours do you spend coding?
They literally
Do you
made a
get-
competition.
Yeah,
We made a
actually
competition,
did.
right?
We actually
So
did.
I found out that at that point in time, for me to not get creative block, I need to be able to evenly space my rest, right? So I created a Pomodoro technique for myself, and it was a 30 minutes, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
30 minutes work, 15 minutes break. So that actually helped me at that point in
I
time.
feel like that's very good, and I equally need to adapt that because I do not have any work-life balance in tech. I'm not even going to lie. But one thing I can advise you to do: buy yourself anti-blue light blocking glasses.
Right. And to glare.
Because you are going to be facing the computer a lot.
Yeah.
You need it.
True.
That's
True.
just it.
True. And that's balance part. I of recent, I started working on mine as well, right? So there's this thing that I do. I have focus hours.
Yeah,
And then-
focus mode on your
and then
phone.
on my
Yeah.
phone.
Right, I do that too.
And then in between, when I have this specific time that I'm supposed to work from here to so time, right? Let's say 3 hours or 4 hours stretch, right? And I have 30 minutes or an hour break in between,
Right.
And then I continue. So I feel like it's a good practice.
Especially that focus mode, because
Focus mode is
at that
very
point in
important.
time, for iPhones, I think it blocks out
It blocks out
calls and all those
Calls.
stuff.
No.
And
Nobody
there was
wants to
there was
talk
a time
about-
where I was working and I didn't know what was going on. Like my focus mode went off, right?
Dude.
And I got a call.
Oh,
What happened? I've been trying to reach you. You can't be in tech and your phone is off.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
bro, come on.
And then- so this brings me to the question here, like how can tech companies improve their staff's well-being in terms of this workplace balance?
Okay. So, I think from my perspective, right, I would want companies like we do in my workspace, right? You could create hangout sessions, right?
Yeah.
So it should not be all work. There should be a time where people can gather together and
Like a
just
chill,
chill,
yeah.
watch Netflix and chill, right?
Yeah,
And a lot of
play
other activities.
games.
Sometimes we play games, right? Like we did the last time. You could even do a lemon. What was the other game?
Trust me, we actually have fun over here, no
Right.
doubt.
Yeah.
So you don't want your employee to be
Yeah.
burnt out. You get
Yeah.
you don't want that to happen, because then you will not be able to get anything out of him. Do you understand?
Amazing.
So I feel like that would be reasonable, and also probably a HMO, right?
Yeah.
Regular checkups and
Regular
stuff like
checkups,
that,
yeah.
right? I think that should be
Exactly.
inculcated
That's a good
into
idea.
Yeah.
companies in Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emeka, what do you have to say
I
about that?
mean, he has said
He's
it all.
literally said
He has said it
everything.
all. Yeah.
I mean, and we're going to just throw this question back at you. What do you think about the work-life balance in tech? Like, are you able to manage yourself, like your work-life balance in tech? Do you experience this burnout? And I want you to just really sit down and to let us know in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the work-life balance in tech. If you are able to handle it, maybe you can even give us some advice
Right.
on how we can even help
Mhm.
ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that will be it. Do well to follow us on social media at PalmTechnIQ.com, on Instagram and on YouTube. And also visit our website at www.palmtechniq.com. Do not forget to turn on your post notifications, like, share, and comment. Have a good day.